Sarepta's pre-announcing earnings.
Yo, earnings? That's business. It's 12 o'clock midnight. What's tomorrow? They seeing this tomorrow.
Q2 revenue 513 million.
Okay, numbers. It's 12 o'clock midnight. What's
Pretty
tomorrow?
good numbers.
Yeah, numbers are good. It's 12 o'clock midnight. What's tomorrow? They seeing this tomorrow. It's whatever. It's the biggest album in the game, my brother.
Yeah, it's Wednesday conference call in half an hour. Looks like black box warning, and that's it. Drug is going to stay on the market. Stock's up 20%. Numbers pretty good. Listen to this conference call. They're letting go 500 people. Make sure you sign up for Godel, godelterminal.com. They're still on a $2 billion revenue run rate, which if you look at it's one-time sales. I mean, this could be 5 times sales very easily. 5x.
Well, hello there. A lot of people are saying it's a good day to talk, you know? The weather's been tremendous lately, absolutely tremendous. Some people say it's the best weather they've ever seen. And frankly, I have to agree with them. What's going on with you today?
Well, Sarepta just came out with news. You know, the Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy company?
Oh, Duchenne muscular dystrophy. That's a tough one, really tough. You know, they're talking about this new drug, Sarepta. And frankly, it's not looking good. Another patient died from acute liver failure. That's terrible, really terrible.
Mr. President, you know, people die with this disease. It's normal.
Okay. Yeah, people, they die. It happens. Look, these companies, they're trying to do something, right? They're trying to help these kids with this terrible disease. But when you hear about liver failure and all these problems, it's tough, really tough. The stock market, it doesn't like uncertainty. Dropped $27 in one day. That's what happens when people get scared.
Well, that's our opportunity. Let's load up on this, President.
Whoa, hold on a second. Load up? You want to buy this stock? Look, I get it. You see weakness, you think opportunity. That's smart thinking, very smart. But we're talking about people dying here and the FDA breathing down their necks. This isn't just some dip you buy because it's cheap. Their gene therapy is having serious problems, liver failure. That's no joke.
Trump, believe me, this is not going to be a problem.
Believe you, okay? Look, I appreciate the confidence, really. But when you've got liver failure and class action lawsuits flying around...
Liver failure is normal for gene therapy. Every gene therapy has it.
Okay, normal. You say that like it's a good thing.
It's not a good thing, but when it's a life or death disease, you can accept some degree of side effects.
All right. I hear you. Life or death. You know what? Maybe you're right.
These kids, they don't have a choice. And if the liver thing is just part of the game with gene therapy, look, I've seen companies come back from worse. The FDA, they're tough, but they also know these kids need help. What's your timeline on this thing?
I think we put 5 million in, and then the Q2 numbers are going to be fine.
5 million? Okay. And you think Q2 is going to be fine? So, look, that's serious money we're talking about here. 5 million. That's not play money. You're betting that these Q2 numbers are going to show people that the liver problems aren't scaring away patients, right?
Right.
The market's already beaten this thing up pretty badly.
Real badly.
Yeah, real badly. That's putting it mildly.
But we're going to put 5 million in. I'm going to put it in Don Jr.'s secret account, the Caymans. And when it pops, I'm going to sell it.
Whoa, hold on. Don Jr.'s account? McCayman's?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what kind of account you're talking about, but when we're moving 5 million around, everything's got to be above board. Everything.
It's above board.
Above the board? Okay. You know, I appreciate you saying that.
But when you're talking about moving 5 million into any account, Don Jr.'s, McCayman's, whatever, you better make sure all the paperwork is perfect.
Perfect. Because if this Sarepta thing goes south and there's any questions about how the money moved, that's a headache nobody wants.
The regulators, they love to make examples out of people.
President Trump, the regulators report to you, sir.
Look, I appreciate the confidence you have in me. But even presidents can't just wave a magic wand and make the SEC disappear. They've got their rules, their processes, it's a whole bureaucracy. And frankly, when you're dealing with biotech stocks and $5 million, you want everything squeaky clean. Squeaky clean. Because if something goes wrong, the media will have a field day.
You're right, President Trump. That's why it is squeaky clean. It's just buying a stock. What do these people have a problem with?
Yeah, squeaky clean. I like the sound of that. Look, you're right. Buying stock is buying stock. It's America. People invest, they take risks, they make money. The problem is when you've got $5 million and you're talking about special accounts, people start asking questions. The press, they love to make mountains out of molehills. But if it's just a straight investment play on Sarepta bouncing back after Q2, hey, that's business.
Oh,
That's what
it
this
just
country-
came out. The news just came out. Sarepta's Q2 revenue will be above expectations.
Above expectations? Wow. Okay, that's actually good news for once.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what? You might be onto something here. If the revenue's beating expectations despite all this liver failure talk, that tells me the doctors are still prescribing it, still using it. Because these kids, they need something. And maybe the market overreacted to the bad news. The stock got hammered. What was it, $27 in one day? Negative. But if the business is still growing, that's a different story entirely.
I'm so glad we put that money in, Mr. President.
Yeah, glad is a good word. Look, this Sarepta thing, this could be a really good move. You called it right when everyone else was panicking about the liver problems. Sometimes the market overreacts. They see bad headlines and they sell first, ask questions later. But if the revenue's beating expectations, that means doctors are still believing in this thing.
Oh, I just saw the press release. It says also the FDA will take no further action, and the FDA is going to keep the drug on the market.
No further action, and they're keeping the drug on the market? That's huge. That's absolutely huge. The FDA basically saying, we're good, keep going. That's what the market was waiting to hear.
All this panic selling, all these lawsuits, and now the FDA comes out and says everything's fine.
You know what this means? This stock is going to fly. It's going to absolutely fly.
That's
shorts
right. What are you going to say about the shorts?
Oh, the shorts, they're going to be screaming.
They're cooked.
The shorts are cooked.
Cooked? They're absolutely cooked. These guys thought they found a reason to short Sarepta, and the FDA comes in and saves them. These short sellers, they saw the liver problems and thought, easy money, this stock is going to zero. But they didn't understand, when you've got a life or death disease and the FDA says keep going, that's all that matters. Now they're stuck covering their positions while the stock rockets up. It's beautiful.
And
Really.
don't you think these people are real scumbags? They're betting against dying kids and their medicine. How dare they?
Scumbags? Yeah, you know what? You're right. These people are betting against kids with muscular dystrophy. Kids who can't walk, can't move properly. And these short sellers see that and think, great, let's make money off their suffering. That's disgusting, really disgusting. They're profiting off fear while families are desperate for any treatment that might help their children. When you put it that way, it's not just business, it's morally wrong. These kids need hope, they need medicine, and here come the shorts trying to destroy the companies working to save them.
Maybe we should throw them in jail, Mr. President.
Jail? Whoa, hold on. That's strong talk. Look, I don't like what they're doing either. Betting against sick kids is terrible, really terrible. But shorting stocks, that's legal. It's been around forever.
It shouldn't be legal, and now that you're president, we can clean up this garbage.
You know, you're right. It's frustrating. You see these people doing things that seem morally wrong, and you want to do something about it. These short sellers, they're not just making bets, they're actively trying to drive down companies that are trying to help sick kids. They spread fear, they whisper in people's ears about problems that might not even be real problems. Maybe we do need to look at some of these rules. Make it harder for them to destroy good companies with good products. The FDA just said Sarepta's fine, but how much damage did these shorts do?
So much damage. Maybe it's time to do some damage to them and their legs. See how they like it.
Whoa, okay, damage to their legs?
Yeah, just like Duchenne patients. They have trouble walking. Let's make sure the shorts have trouble walking.
Look, I get the passion. I really do. You see these guys trying to take down companies helping kids, and it makes you want to fight back.
But we can't go around breaking people's legs.
Yes, we
not how
can.
do.
Yes, we can.
All right. Let's take a breath here. Look, I understand you're fired up about this. These short sellers, they make you angry, they make me angry too. But we've got to channel that energy the right way. We beat them in the market. We make better rules. We expose what they're doing. That's how we win. That's how we really hurt them. Get it
Maybe
where
we
it
can hold all our shares and force them to get squeezed. Maybe we can put our shares into direct registration and not lend them out to the short sellers.
Okay, now you're talking holding shares tight. Now you're talking strategy. Direct registration, not lending them out, that's smart. Really smart. When you do that, the shorts can't borrow your shares to bet against a company. No shares to borrow means they can't short. And if everyone does it, if all the long holders register their shares directly, then these shorts are stuck. They have to cover their positions with fewer and fewer shares available. The price goes up, 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 and they're scrambling to get out. That's how you squeeze them legally. Make them pay market prices for what they thought they could get cheap.
Exactly, and we can make the mother of all short squeezes.
The mother of all short squeezes. I like the sound of that. You get all these investors together, everyone holds their shares tight, nobody's lending anything out to these vultures. The shorts think they can just keep pushing it down, but suddenly there's nothing to borrow. Nothing. And when the FDA comes out with good news like they just did, boom, they're trapped. They've got to cover it whatever price they can get, and if nobody's selling, that price keeps going higher and higher. These guys who were betting against dying kids, they're going to learn what happens when you mess with the wrong stock.
Exactly, and I think we can keep squeezing them and manipulate the share price higher.
Keep squeezing them. Yeah, that's the idea. But listen, when you start talking about manipulating prices, look, I get it. You want to hurt these guys, and they deserve it. But manipulating, that's a word that gets people in trouble. The SEC, they don't like that word. What we're doing is holding our shares, not lending them out, making it harder for shorts to operate.
Right,
Just
right.
Good. Okay, so we're on the same page here. This Sarepta thing, it could be huge.
Well,
You called it-
they're about to put out data on another drug, and I think that drug will work, and the stock will double again.
Another drug? You think this one works too?
Yeah. It's for a rare form of muscular dystrophy called limb-girdle muscular dystrophy.
Limb-girdle muscular dystrophy? Okay, that's specific. And if that drug works like you think it will, we're not just talking about one hit, we're talking about a whole pipeline. Multiple drugs, multiple diseases. That's when these biotech companies really take off. One drug can make you money, but a whole platform? That's when you get the big multiples. The market starts thinking this isn't just a one-trick pony. It's a real company that knows how to develop treatments for these rare diseases.
So now that I put some money in your pocket, Mr. President, how about you slide me over a quick presidential pardon?
A pardon? For you? Look, I appreciate the vote of confidence, but pardons aren't something you hand out like party favors. They're for serious stuff.
What the
really
fuck?
serious stuff.
I thought we were friends.
Look, I appreciate the sentiment. We're working together on this Sarepta thing, and that's good. But friendship and presidential pardons, those are two different things entirely. You can't just buy your way to a pardon, even if you made me some money. That's not how it works. The presidency isn't for sale, and neither are pardons. You want to stay friends? Keep making good stock picks like this Sarepta call. That's the kind of friendship that works for everyone.
I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Thank you. And there are no more questions in the queue, and I would like to turn the call back to management for closing remarks. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Lisa. And thank you all this evening for spending time with us and for your very thoughtful questions. I'll just say again, what we've had to do with our strategic plan in many ways is very painful, both because we've trimmed very promising programs that we need to find homes for, and by necessity, we've lost really valuable colleagues that I think are going to go off to do great things elsewhere. But we are left with a very focused strategy, focused on what I believe to be fantastic approved therapies that are going to do a lot of good for Duchenne patients. And then using that performance, we're going to drive very high NPV, very impactful therapies, disease-modifying therapies for rare diseases that desperately need these treatments. And so I feel very good about where we're heading. We're going to be a lean, fast-moving, and very viable organization going forward. I look forward to updating you as we move forward. But I would also note the following, that we will have a Q2 announcement, of course, and a Q2 earnings release in August, in early August. But you will note today that we've gone into a lot of detail. We provided all of the financials here. We've provided all material information in this call. And so in our continuing efforts at efficiency, we will issue an earnings release in early August, but we won't burden you all with another earnings call in early August. And I look forward to updating you if something comes up earlier, but otherwise I'll look forward to updating you on our performance towards our strategic goals at our Q3 earnings call. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you all for joining. This concludes today's
Okay.
conference call. You may now disconnect.
Yeah, I think, taking the worst case off the table is pretty exciting for, the stock or the company. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you don't get 1.5, maybe 2 billion in recurring revenue. Put a conservative 3x multiple on that. You still have a double. So pretty solid. Long. Been playing defense for a long time in the stock and happy to see a little bit of offense, but still have ways to go to get back to the, say $50. Um, there's a D-Wave archive paper that was published by Ulick. It'd be really interesting to see what that says. They put this out three months ago, so I look forward to reading that. I'm also supposed to talk to these people, so that'll be interesting. Anyway, subscribe to Godel if you're up on Sarepta. Go to godelterminal.com and hit the subscribe button. It's only $80, and you'll have a brand new stock idea exclusively on Godel, so you'll be able to trade the idea if you see fit before it's released more openly. So you get first dibs, and I think it's a really good idea. The biotech stock. So anyway, check that out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I had almost no sleep last night, so please bear with me. Go to godelterminal.com. Thank you much. See you guys tomorrow.